Hi, I'm Arthelene Rippy, extending an invitation to you to just hang out with me for the next few minutes. By doing so, you will learn something that could improve your health and forever change your life. Are you constantly tired? Was there a time when you had boundless energy? Do you suffer from one of the chronic diseases running rampant through our society? If so, the following information just might be exactly what you're looking for.
Something old and wonderful has just become something new and improved. More than 4 decades have passed since the discovery of the miraculous healing combination of protein and flax oil. The legendary doctor and scientist Johanna Budwig discovered that this simple formula had a profound effect on blood cells vulnerable to disease. Since most chronic disease starts at the cellular level, many consider this a major scientific breakthrough. Enter Dr. John Young, founder of Young Foundational Health Center. Dr. Young's vast medical experience at home and abroad gives him an elevated status in the field of health today. Dr. Young reached a point of frustration in his career as the prevailing conventional wisdom in medicine was a tendency to just treat the symptom with medication, never getting to the root of the problem. This frustration led him to a detailed study of the work of Dr. Budwig. By taking this basic formula, Dr. Young added the powerful antioxidants of fruit of the spirit and essential minerals to establish the Young Power Shake. His goal was to rebuild his patient's overall health from the ground up, starting at the cellular level. Take a look at these inspiring statistics.
Hal J., age 56, suffered from neuropathy of the legs and feet, and after 7 weeks on the program, his symptoms have decreased drastically. Millicent M., age 67, was on several diabetes medications, and after 9 weeks, she was taken off all of her medication. Tamara S., age 71, had severe hypertension and was taken off all of her blood pressure medications after just 6 weeks.
These testimonies offer proof positive the value of this timeless formula. Isn't it time for you to live your life in better health? Just call that number on your screen and request this amazing old but new tried and true powerful health enhancer, the Young Power Shake. Call the number on the screen right now to request the Young Power Shake. For just $149.95, you will receive a month's supply of high-quality protein, the special blend of flax and fish oils, those all-important alkalizing minerals, and the amazing antioxidant mix of biblical ingredients, fruit of the spirit. Call now and receive free shipping on your monthly order. Start living your life in better health. Call now.
Dr. John Young has enjoyed a diverse career in medicine that has taken him from the continent of Africa to more than a decade in the emergency rooms of America's hospitals. I recently had the opportunity to sit down with him to talk about his approach to medicine, and I found out why the word foundation holds the key to his practice.
The reason why I kind of made a change in my practice from emergency room and just general family practice was this. I never got anybody better. I mean, yes, you had a sore throat, gave you antibiotics, you felt better. But when it came to the chronic diseases, diabetes, hypertension, COPD, emphysema, heart disease, I just kind of slowed your progress to death. You know, it gave you more and more medicines and more side effects and treat those as side effects. And I started reading really, what did the old guys of medicine do for these diseases? And a good friend of ours, Deborah Ray, introduced me to some of the old guys through their writings and recordings. And I realized whether it was Myers at Johns Hopkins, Cathcart out at the Mayo Clinic, Klenner at Duke, Kaufman at Yale, they all laid a foundation. Whether you were male or female, heart disease, lung disease, diabetes, whatever, everybody got a foundation. And when I laid that foundation, 80% of what the patient came in complaining about was gone in about 4 to 8 weeks. The other thing is, most of my patients come in saying, John, I'm not getting better. I'm slowly getting worse, and I want off my meds. And so it just came about, if we laid a foundation, it made a huge difference in these people's lives.
Okay, I can hear the viewers saying, okay, what's the foundation? What did you change?
Well, a couple things. One is I use Lugol solution, which is iodine, because iodine's a regulator. Heart, kidneys, pancreas, thyroid, liquefies cholesterol. It's a regulator. The other thing, though, which I think to me is the key, is I went back to the 1931 Nobel Prize in Medicine. And they said this, when the oxygen in a cell drops below 35%, a cell doesn't function well. So how do you get more oxygen within that cell? You need to remake that cell membrane. And they did it with protein hidden in with flaxseed oil because it has the most double bonds per molecule.
Wasn't it a lady doctor that kind of came up with that?
Dr. Joanna Budwig or Budwig. And let me say, it is not, people say Budwig, Budweiser, it is not sponsored by a beer company.
No.
This is Joanna Budwig. She won 31, 33, and 34 Nobel Prizes in medicine. So, you know, with the team, and very, very smart lady.
Can I insert just a little personal thing? Because when I found out that you knew about that, Deborah Ray knew about it, I got, woo! When my daughter was diagnosed with cancer, I had a long trip before she had the surgery and all that. And so I took all these cancer books to read. And I was introduced to her in literature, and came home, marked up the books, gave them to her, and she has taken it ever since, and she's passed 6 years now. But this was the genesis, right? I put it this way, something old and wonderful has been new and improved because you've taken that basic concept, put it in the Young Power Shake. Tell us how it has been improved through the years.
Well, and we've actually talked to the Budwig Institute in Germany. You know, Americans want a pill. Well, we could not do a pill. So what we did is, instead of cottage cheese or quark in Germany, about 9 years ago they came up with a way to make whey, W-H-E-Y, whey protein at 130 degrees. And that is just unbelievably key.
Can you give us a little bit more detail on what that means?
Well, most of the whey proteins that you buy out there at GNC or the local store, they are part of the cheese industry. So they're heated to about 200 degrees. Well, at 200 degrees, all your lactoferritins, all your immunoglobulins, all the good things of protein kind of go up in smoke. So when they came up with a way to do it at 130, you know, in fact, one of the insurance companies came to me and said, John, how come you can get most of our diabetics that we send you and most of our hypertensives off their meds and the others can't? Because if you know something about proteins, you can do that. So we had this access to this whey protein. Then we used the flaxseed oil like the Germans. Now, the interesting thing is people say, well, so you're just using a lot of protein. Well, you can do that, but the thing you have to remember is if you use a lot of protein, you have to neutralize all the free fatty acids. So we came up with something called AB, or acid base, which neutralizes all those free fatty acids. We mix it together in water or milk or almond milk, you know, whatever, and I started giving it to my patients. And here's what I would get after about 5 or 6 days. John, am I supposed to feel more energy, or, you know, I just feel better. Because one
Is it in 5 or 6 days?
5 to 6 days. Now, it wasn't like, you know, I'm all of a sudden I'm 6'6" now or whatever, but it was like something is going on in my body. The other thing is when you use that much omega-3 oils, which flaxseed oil is, that is a tremendous amount of anti-inflammatory. The other thing we found with our patients is this. They thought they were eating healthy. You know, I'm eating organic oatmeal, you know, organic salads, dolphin-free tuna, you know, my 4 ounces of range-free chicken at night. And I'm saying you weigh 150 pounds, divide by 2 is 75. I need 75 grams of protein a day. That is not high protein.
So you're not getting that from your little...
No, you know, and that is not a high-protein diet. That's exactly what the physiology textbooks are saying. So if I can get the protein and the oils in these people, boy, they really are getting better.
And that goes to the cellular level where the life is.
Right.
Life is in your blood, isn't it?
You know, it is. And what I said to my patients is this, you know, whatever disease you have, it really doesn't matter to me. My job is to give you the best immune system, the best cell membrane I can give you. And when you do that, most of this all falls into place.
Some of that, you know, that really, really makes sense. I know also that your desire is to get your patients off as many pharmaceuticals as possible. I believe you told me once that you had one patient came in 29 different pills. I don't know how that patient walked in, but when they're introduced to the Power Young Shake, Young Power Shake. I got that wrong. Young Power Shake. Do you see evidence that it's okay to remove this pharmaceutical, this pharmaceutical, this pharmaceutical?
Well, what happens with a lot of them is they want to get off it today. Well, I saw you, I'm going to stop it now. I said, no. You know, we've got to get things going, build this foundation. And then I will see them back in about 4 weeks, and I'll say, you know, like, what are your blood sugars running now? Or what's your blood pressure? Well, why don't we cut this in half? You know, let's reduce the dose here. And it's just, you know, over the weeks and months is just reducing the medications. And I say, you know, you don't even have to come back and see me. Talk to your regular doctor, because he's going to see as you're better, well, maybe we should cut back on some of this.
You know, as a television producer, many interesting books find their way to my desk, but none more surprising to me than to receive a sizable hard copy book just on the subject of inflammation. Perhaps you've noticed that much is said about inflammation today, but most of us know little about it. So I made it a point to ask Dr. Young about this seemingly common but very serious problem.
Well, it's very interesting. If you look at a lot of the articles in medicine now, they're all talking about it starts with an inflammatory process. In fact, in our local newspaper a few years ago, they brought out a discovery that the Australians have discovered. They call it, I think, substance P, which is the initial start of the cascade for the inflammatory process. And we've known for years, if you can stop this inflammation, and inflammation really is the key to a lot of these diseases. And so what I wanted to do was try to get to the root of the problem, or try to get to the cellular membrane aspect. You can take flaxseed oil, you know, the capsules or the fish oil, but if you're doing that, that's fine, but it still is kind of violating basic physiology.
In what way?
Because to really use an oil, it has to be emulsified or hidden in a protein. The Eskimos, you know, they take in a lot of omega-3 oils, but it's in the fish that they eat. You cut open a fish, it doesn't drain out oil. The oil is hidden in the meat or the flesh, the protein. And this is what the 31 Nobel Prize said, Budwig's Nobel Prize, is you have to hide the oil in a protein if you're going to get the full anti-inflammatory effects and really remake that cell membrane.
There's something that seems so right, that this wasn't something you got in a dream or a vision, but it is built on very solid scientific foundation. But the more we learn and grow and all, you can make things better.
You know, it's very interesting. When I first started out into practice, I said, you know, I want to keep up to date. And so I said, I'm going to...
the next pill, right?
Well, what I said was, and here's an interesting thing, you know, and patients ought to talk to their doctors about this, because, you know, as a Christian, the Bible is my Bible.
Foundation.
But if you're a car mechanic or a doctor, you have a Bible, your kind of reference.
Right.
And I'm going out into practice, and I'm thinking, what is my reference going to be? And I thought, you know, the New England Journal of Medicine, American Medical Association's journal. But as I started reading them, 1 month, this is the best drug to treat high blood pressure. The next month, it's another drug.
There you go.
So, I mean, I was crazy. I couldn't, well, what am I doing? And then I got so busy that I just said, well, wait, the drug reps, they're up on the latest. But I found, you know, in the morning, Julie would tell me to do this drug for this, and Nancy in the afternoon would tell me to do this drug. And I was just completely confused. So I said, where is it, you know, what can I do for my Bible that does not change? Textbook of physiology, textbook of biochemistry, the 98, the 99, and the 31 Nobel Prizes in medicine. And that's basically what I've developed my practice on.
Something old and wonderful has just become something new and improved. More than 4 decades have passed since the discovery of the miraculous healing combination of protein and flax oil. The legendary doctor and scientist Johanna Budwig discovered that this simple formula had a profound effect on blood cells vulnerable to disease. Since most chronic disease starts at the cellular level, many consider this a major scientific breakthrough. Enter Dr. John Young, founder of Young Foundational Health Center. Dr. Young's vast medical experience at home and abroad gives him an elevated status in the field of health today. Dr. Young reached a point of frustration in his career as the prevailing conventional wisdom in medicine was a tendency to just treat the symptom with medication, never getting to the root of the problem. This frustration led him to a detailed study of the work of Dr. Budwig. By taking this basic formula, Dr. Young added the powerful antioxidants of fruit of the spirit and essential minerals to establish the Young Power Shake. His goal was to rebuild his patient's overall health from the ground up, starting at the cellular level. Take a look at these inspiring statistics.
Hal J., age 56, suffered from neuropathy of the legs and feet, and after 7 weeks on the program, his symptoms have decreased drastically. Millicent M., age 67, was on several diabetes medications, and after 9 weeks, she was taken off all of her medication. Tamara S., age 71, had severe hypertension and was taken off all of her blood pressure medications after just 6 weeks.
These testimonies offer proof positive the value of this timeless formula. Isn't it time for you to live your life in better health? Just call that number on your screen and request this amazing old but new tried and true powerful health enhancer, the Young Power Shake. Call the number on the screen right now to request the Young Power Shake. For just $149.95, you will receive a month's supply of high-quality protein, the special blend of flax and fish oils, those all-important alkalizing minerals, and the amazing antioxidant mix of biblical ingredients, fruit of the spirit. Call now and receive free shipping on your monthly order. Start living your life in better health. Call now.
The testimonies from Dr. Young's patients are indeed impressive. Most choose not to appear on television, but one gentleman agreed to talk to us, Mr. Britt. Brian's life has been completely transformed by meeting Dr. Young and making the Young Power Shake a part of his daily routine. As so many other people seeking better health, Brian was taking a number of prescription drug medications, but to say that his quality of life was lacking would be a serious understatement. I asked him how many different medications he was taking when he met Dr. Young.
Well, I was on 11 prescriptions at the time.
Whoa.
I was on 3 different types of blood pressures. Now, some of them were to protect my organs, such as my heart and my kidneys and my liver. But basically, I was on three different types of blood pressures, which were just, they kind of just, you didn't know in the morning you wake up, you'd be tired, or sometimes you'd have some energy, or sometimes you wouldn't. Through taking the shake and taking the other, the minerals and all that, I had to go completely off them because my blood pressure dropped so low.
Got normal, huh?
Yeah, now I'm taking 5 milligrams, when before on one of the on the Diavan I was taking 625 milligrams a day. So I eliminated that pill completely, 2 others, and where I'm just down 5 milligrams, and my blood pressure's hitting right in the range that I need to be.
Brian, did your kidneys fail, or what happened with your kidneys?
No, you were correct, and my kidneys did not fail. They did not go down. They have stayed right where they're at. My eyesight has gotten better. I lost my left eye in 2000, and my right eye was still not as healthy as it could be after taking the shake. Being on it for a while, it stabilized. Once it stabilized, they were able to do more surgery. There was no damage to the eye, and now I went from being 2400 legally blind to where I'm still legally blind, but I run 2200, can see much more clear, sharper, and I don't have to wear glasses any longer, which is nice.
Did that surprise you?
No, because Budwig talked about this, and but it's always nice to hear from patients. The other thing that, with the kidney aspect is, and I felt very good with what we were doing with the kidneys, because this is exactly what the physiology textbooks say. And when it comes to the kidneys, you have to have some proteins to actually heal. The Diabetic Association, I was talking to them, and they said, well, John, we don't want them to have protein because, when you check their urine, there's protein in the urine. And so it must be damaging the kidneys. So I said, well, so do you tell them not to eat any carbohydrates or glucose? Because when they show glucose in the urine, they must not want to have any of that. Oh, they looked at me like, never thought about that. We'll get back with you. That was 2 years ago. I'm still waiting. So and there's all I did with Brian, and I do with my patients, it's basic physiology, biochemistry. You know, I'd like to, you know, if you could just mention a little bit about how do your other doctors feel about this?
Oh, yeah.
Well, they
I want to know that.
they weren't very exciting at the very beginning of this, and they basically thought that I was off onto a wild goose chase. But you know, they're the ones that do the testing on my blood, and I have my blood tested quarterly, and Dr. Young gets a copy of that. And so they were sending the copies to him, seeing, well, that my D3, I was taking the vitamin, the D, and that shot up. And they're like, well, look at this. And I go, well, I'm taking some drops for that, and that went up significantly. Then my sugars were starting to be, I'm a brittle diabetic, and they were, you know, if I had a 425 in the morning and a 68 at night, not uncommon. I get that occasionally now, but nowhere near that what I used to have. Everything is kind of like settled more into a steady rhythm.
What an inspiring story, and I appreciate Brian's willingness to share his own personal experience with the Young Power Shake. In many ways, this old and wonderful, yet new and improved combination of ingredients has given his life back to him. Now, I invite you into the kitchen, where Dr. Young will show us how to make his famous shake. You'll see, it just couldn't be easier. Okay, we are going to fix you one of these Young Power Shakes that we've been talking about, and I'll let you do the
honors.
heavy lifting here.
All right, we're going to start out. You can use milk, water, almond milk, rice milk, whatever. I don't really like soy because it binds a lot of minerals. And so we're going to just use some milk here, 4, 5, 8 ounces, however thick or thin you want. If you want to add some ice cubes, you can do that. Now, here's 2 keys now. Number 1 is the protein. And 1 scoop is about 30 grams of protein. So, and that's about the most you can absorb at any one sitting. So 30 grams of protein. Now, we're taking in a lot of protein, so we have to neutralize all those free fatty acids. So we're going to use 10 drops of acid base to neutralize that. And for diabetics, that's very important. 10 drops, 11 will not kill you, so you're okay if we miscount. There you are, 10 drops.
Okay.
Now then, the Nobel Prize part of this is the oil. So we're going to need 1/2 ounce of oil or 1 tablespoon.
Okay, do you want me to get a tablespoon, or do you want to?
Yeah, I'll pour it because I've done this quite a few times, so
you know how
I'll
much?
tell you. There's a tablespoon.
That is one pretty color. Now this is your fruit of the spirit.
This is fruit of the spirit, and we're going to use about 1 ounce, 1.5 ounces of that. And I use this for flavorings and because of the mineral content. All right?
Okay.
So we're going to put the top on.
Yeah, and then
I'm going to give you the honors.
you can put the ice cubes in it, and actually, there we go. And I take it out and shake it out a little bit and give it one more whirl.
Right.
And that should do it. And there are other kinds of blenders you can have, but this one is one I keep in the office, actually.
Yes. Now, you can use fruit of the spirit. You can use berries. If you're a diabetic, I don't like them to use a lot of bananas.
Too much sugar?
Too much sugar.
Oh, that's good. It just needs some ice cubes, really.
No oranges or orange juice. Stay away from the citrus. You're not going to use chocolate milk or chocolate, syrup, because this is fragile. You're rebuilding a cell membrane, and I'll tell you, this has been the key to our laying a foundation for our patients.
And the proof is in the pudding because of the long list of patients I have from you and the great results they've had, and then we've also had a guest. So I think you'll want to get some of this, make you better. Thank you again for joining me today for this inspiring and informative experience. There's no doubt that the message contained in this brief program has provided valuable information about a product that could improve your overall health and offer you a better quality of life. This old, tried and true, award-winning combination of ingredients has a long history of success, reaching back more than a century. Dr. Young has taken these basic building blocks and made them even more powerful. Chronic diseases are at an all-time high, and when diagnosed, they tend to create a never-ending increase for more and more pharmaceutical drugs. You know, America is now known as the most drugged-up nation in the world. So I ask you, have you given thought to the rock-solid basics for your own health? What are you doing to build your own immune system? And what about your children? As a grandmother and a great-grandmother, I'm very concerned about the health of my grandchildren who often experience America's fast food diet. No matter the age, a healthy immune system gives a better quality of life. And just in case you're wondering if I take the Young Power Shake, you bet I do, every single morning. Now, my friend, you have the opportunity to begin taking the Young Power Shake. A number is coming up on your screen. Have your credit card ready when you call. Don't put it off. The sooner you begin taking this powerful product, the sooner you can begin to experience its life-changing results. Call now.
Something old and wonderful has just become something new and improved. More than 4 decades have passed since the discovery of the miraculous healing combination of protein and flax oil. The legendary doctor and scientist Johanna Budwig discovered that this simple formula had a profound effect on blood cells vulnerable to disease. Since most chronic disease starts at the cellular level, many consider this a major scientific breakthrough. Enter Dr. John Young, founder of Young Foundational Health Center. Dr. Young's vast medical experience at home and abroad gives him an elevated status in the field of health today. Dr. Young reached a point of frustration in his career as the prevailing conventional wisdom in medicine was a tendency to just treat the symptom with medication, never getting to the root of the problem. This frustration led him to a detailed study of the work of Dr. Budwig. By taking this basic formula, Dr. Young added the powerful antioxidants of fruit of the spirit and essential minerals to establish the Young Power Shake. His goal was to rebuild his patient's overall health from the ground up, starting at the cellular level. Take a look at these inspiring statistics.
Hal J., age 56, suffered from neuropathy of the legs and feet, and after 7 weeks on the program, his symptoms have decreased drastically. Millicent M., age 67, was on several diabetes medications, and after 9 weeks, she was taken off all of her medication. Tamara S., age 71, had severe hypertension and was taken off all of her blood pressure medications after just 6 weeks.
These testimonies offer proof positive the value of this timeless formula. Isn't it time for you to live your life in better health? Just call that number on your screen and request this amazing old but new tried and true powerful health enhancer, the Young Power Shake. Call the number on the screen right now to request the Young Power Shake. For just $149.95, you will receive a month's supply of high-quality protein, the special blend of flax and fish oils, those all-important alkalizing minerals, and the amazing antioxidant mix of biblical ingredients, fruit of the spirit. Call now and receive free shipping on your monthly order. Start living your life in better health. Call now.